One of the top responsibilities of the CEO and the board is to ensure the resiliency and continuity of the organization that they lead or govern. And a key ingredient in any business continuity plan is a succession plan for your CEO position. So if you don't have a succession policy or a backup plan for your chief executive, stick around because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how you can get these succession essentials in place in your organization, do it painlessly and probably in under an hour in most cases. I'm also going to give you a free step-by-step guide that will walk you through the entire process. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Don Tebby, and over the past 25 years, I've helped hundreds of nonprofit leaders plan for and manage the turnover in their chief executive position. Now, Succession Essentials is one of three types of succession planning. The second type is departure-defined planning, or what I like to call exit planning, which is a great tool, especially for retiring leaders. And the third type is leader development planning, which can range from grooming a single individual to creating a pipeline of leaders in a larger organization. Now, leader development planning is a type of succession planning that most of your corporate board members will associate with the term succession planning. But today we're talking about succession essentials, two essential plans that every nonprofit should have in place. The first is an executive succession policy, which is a board-adopted policy that outlines the principles and procedures that the board will follow in managing a CEO transition when their current executive decides to leave the role. CEO succession is one of the board's most important responsibilities and probably their least understood job. The succession policy helps the board understand the succession and transition process, and it also gives them a game plan for when the transition finally comes around. So when the current executive decides to leave the role, the board has a plan, a process, charge for their committee, and so forth. They won't have to fumble around figuring out what to do. The succession policy covers just the CEO position because that's the board's only employee. The second document, the backup plan, covers how the board will handle short or long-term absences of the CEO. It ensures that there's continuous coverage of the CEO's key functions by making sure that there's a cross-trained individual ready to step in as the acting chief executive. Together, the policy and the backup plan ensure leadership continuity in one of the most important leadership positions in the organization. Now, while the succession policy is just for the CEO position, the backup plans are a great idea for all of your management positions. In fact, you can adjust the template in the package for these other management roles. So why would you want to put succession essentials in place? First, working on these tools is a great way to break the ice about leadership succession. You know, leadership succession is still a touchy subject in far too many organizations. And as I pointed out in the mistakes video, a lot of organizations live in a state of denial about the inevitability of leadership succession. Working on succession essentials is a great way to get beyond what I call the inertia of avoidance about this topic. Second, obviously, they'll ensure leadership continuity by making sure that there's somebody to cover for the chief executive in the event of a planned or an unplanned absence. Third, they'll lead to better transitions by making sure that the board understands leadership succession and that they have a plan to manage the process when your current chief executive eventually decides to leave the role. Fourth, they can help strengthen the organization by opening up a dialogue about management bench depth, delegation of duties from an overburdened chief executive, other capacity building opportunities. And finally, these tools are just good management. Leadership transitions are inevitable, and the best, most well-managed nonprofits don't leave this question of leadership continuity to chance. They have these tools in place, and now you can too. Now, to make it as easy as possible to get these good management tools in place, I created a free companion guide that includes fill-in-the-blank templates for both of these documents. And as you'll see, I've done a lot of the work for you already. All you need to do is just add your information. Now, if you have a small organization where your executive director is the only manager or you don't have a lot of management bench depth, don't assume that succession planning isn't for you. The guide includes a special section on how to plan for succession in small organizations, and there's a worksheet specifically for smaller nonprofits. You know, leadership continuity planning is critically important, so regardless of your organization's size, the guide's got you covered. Now, the guide, the templates, and the companion step-by-step video are 100% completely free. Why? Well, after almost 3 decades of watching nonprofits unnecessarily struggle with leadership succession because of a lack of a plan, I'm on a mission to make this kind of succession planning, this approach to help ensure the continuity of your organization and its important mission, to make this approach to succession planning a mainstream management practice, as mainstream as strategic planning is today. So be sure to click on the link below to download your free step-by-step guide and the fill-in-the-blank templates. Thanks for watching. See you next time.